Hello and welcome to chapter 4 and 5. Today we'll finish the first module of Tourism Senior Secondary. And let's quickly, straight away, jump to chapter number 4, which says Fundamentals of Travel and Tourism Geography. So, anybody who has taken travel should know the geography well. It's simple as learning Google Maps. You want to go from point A to point B, you should know what your map says. Today, we'll learn something very, very simple, very fundamental you would have learned in your school, but you would have forgotten about it. We will go and learn about latitude and longitudes. So before I go to latitude longitude, what are latitude and longitude? These are imaginary lines on your globe. Like the entire political lines. There is no actual line between China and India or Germany and Poland. We have made these barbed wires and we fight over it. And this is the same way. But these are positive lines. We learn a lot of geography through these lines. So what is latitude and what is longitude? Look at this picture, it'll be easy. And if you get a question, I'll be very proud if you can memorize this. Latitude, think of it as simple as that, horizontal. See, it's a straight line here. Look at the red line there. It's horizontal. In your x and y axis, if I make an x and y axis, this is x and this is y. So think of latitude as x axis, right? So what is this? These are the lines on the equator. That is how we make. These are again imaginary lines parallel to one another. And what happens is they are primarily the latitudes. Why are latitudes important? Latitude help you, remember, make a cloud here. They help you in understanding the weather and the climate, latitude. So if I want to know what happens in Africa, look at the latitude. Is it near the equator? Then that is hot. It is away from the equator, it is colder. Very interestingly, what is equator now? Very important. Equator is another line of latitude, another imaginary line, but it is at the right in the middle of it. It runs from both the horizons. The longest of the latitude is the equator. As simple as that. This is all you need to learn about latitude. Long, remember the word long. So I'll draw long lines like this. So these are long lines, vertical lines, longitude. Longitude, again, imaginary lines, but they run from top to bottom, from North Pole to South Pole. And the longest of them is again, like equator that side, is called PM, prime meridian. Simple words, easy to memorize, prime meridian. Now, what are they used for? Well, when I say prime, think of it prime time, right? So draw a clock here, and you can do these drawings also in your exam paper for the examiner to know, When I draw a clock, it says the longitude help me look at the time in a particular place. Whichever time I go in, longitude will help me identify the time. Today's chapter's biggest question is around latitude and longitude. And in so short time, I hope I have taught you latitude and longitude. We'll again share the screen. I'll again go back to this and I will now cancel and I will take you to date line. International date line. Is there something called international date line? The moment I say international date line, look at the way I wrote it. If I write international date line, remember the moment I say what it will be latitude or longitude, it's to do with time. It has to be longitude. Simple as that. Don't forget. Upar se niche, up, down. It is the longitude. This is the international date line. It is a date line which crosses, all the latitudes. It's a longitude, long. It's a longitude line. And you look at it, the way it is divided is you see the world, right? If I look at the world, I'm going from here. Sun rises in the east. The moment I go towards east, and let me take this paper, and the moment I go towards east, the sun is rising fast. No wonder which country is called the land of rising sun. So it's so easy, right? You remember it and you'll never forget it. This is how you work it out. So I'll draw a line again. International date line, not difficult. The moment I go towards this side, you see the land of rising sun comes here. That is Japan. And that is where the world first sees the sunrise country. Yet we have a single time zone. Actually, I come from a small island called Andaman and Nicobar. Andaman and Nicobar is more closer to Malaysia and the sun rises early. So sunrise in Andaman may be at 4:45. Let's make it easy, 5 o'clock, 5 a.m. But in Gujarat, again, I'm a Gujarati, in Surat, it is sunrise is at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. Yet for the ease of convenience, we made India into one time zone. America is probably 4 time zones. Russia has got 3 time zones. So each country, because it's so far away, the time here is different from the time here. So the world moves this way as you come from Japan all the way out here, actually it should be from here. As you come from Japan to here, the time you gain time. You gain time. You come before time, right? Remember that. So IDL, International Date Line, again is an imaginary line on Earth's crust, and it separates by one calendar day. That means the moment I cross this international date line, I will gain a day. You know, you start on Monday, and by the time you reach here, it will be still Sunday. You will gain a day. So what if I go from here to there? I will lose a day. As simple as that. One another very interesting point is India. You remember there is something called Greenwich. Greenwich is a city near London that has been decided as the main time of the world. So you see, this is Greenwich falls on the International Meridian Day. This is where England is. So around here, Greenwich, I'll change my pen color so it might be easier for you, shouldn't I? So when I say Greenwich, so that is the main time. So every time in the world, are you on this side of Greenwich? You will be minus. You on this side of Greenwich, you'll be plus. Actually, it will be going this way, right? It is this way. It is the longitude. India is plus 5:30. So if you look at India, whatever time is in Greenwich, will be 5.5 hours ahead of it. That is how the Greenwich time is calculated. Remember these basic fundas, and your entire primary core chapter is done. Yes, your entire chapter number 4 is done. As I said, today I'm going to run through and I'll do 2 chapters together. It'll be the latitude, longitude, equator, prime meridian. So you know now, moment you look at this, oh, I know what prime meridian. Sir taught me what prime meridian is. It's not difficult. IDL, international date line, all these index questions become very easy. Why does time lag? Why does time gain? Because you're crossing the IDL, international date line, which is a longitude line, long line, and that's it. Also, you understand, you also need to know map. And again, what is a map? A map is a visual reference. Visual reference, right? It's organized. It is easy to understand. So there are 2 types of map. One is a general reference map. For example, in school, we had political map. All the states of India, Odisha, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, all the states in political map. There is a physical map. The Indus River, the Brahmaputra, the Vindhya mountain, the Himalayas, all these things are the map of the world, which is physical map. There's something called special map or thematic map. Theme, any theme I want. So example, I want to know India's vegetation. So there's one map of all the vegetation. Calcutta has, West Bengal has rice fields. Or Coorg has coffee plantations. Assam has tea plantations. So vegetation that way. It could be on climate. You know, there is more rainfall in Assam, Mizoram, Cherrapunji. Remember, there is less rainfall in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So climate map. It could be a map on industries. You know, Bokaro steel plant in Jamshedpur or Tamil Nadu, the ISRO, all these industries around. It could be on 3 different transport, road, railway, air, wind direction, cyclone, and anything you can think of. These are thematic map based on a specific theme that we do. The last thing that you learn in this chapter is, all right, I've understood map. How do I plot them? If I have to understand, you plot it through charts. And these are all the maps that you learn. What are the 3 charts? Bar chart, line chart, and pie chart. If you have done your data entry in your grade 10 or 12, you should know this very easily, right? Bar is the, line chart are just one single line. So I can just draw them. Simple line, straightforward, easy to define. Pie chart, you make a big pie. Like, okay, how many people in India eat rice? So that could be like this, 50%. Then there is jawar, there is maize, there is bajra. So you can do a pie chart, and bar chart will be more of this. And there'll be bars here, columns. Which bar is what? That is all that this chapter requires. It's an interesting chapter. I hope you do well to do chapter number 4, fundamentals. Don't worry, I'm not ending, or you should. Why am I even continuing? Because the next chapter, number 5, is so easy. I'll rather not waste your time. It's transport for tourism. What does it mean? The better the transport are, the more tourists will come here. You know, because Bombay has international airport, there is connectivity train, there are road trips, good roads, taxi, Uber, Ola, Kali Pili, everything's available. People love to come to Bombay. The more you improve your transport, the better the tourism in the state will be. Now, what are the areas that I can look into transport? Remember, basically, road, rail, water, and air. Now, all of these have their positives, characteristics of each transport. What could be a characteristic of, say, road transport? It is good for short distances. Yes. It is cheaper also, especially you say for carrying, people. From Bombay to Pune, you quickly take an Ola outstation, you drive on it. The national highways are very good. They are called NH. So national highways are very good. Or Eastern Express Highway, Western Express Highway. They have tolls in it. So these characteristics. Then there's something called super highways. For example, the Yamuna Expressway, which is connecting Delhi with Agra. Super corridors, quick, very fast, very nice road, and it is making cities connect better. Roads is very simple. Oh, wow. This is why we're pushing you to learn two chapters together. It's a simple chapter. So these are some examples of expressways, national highway, state highway, and you don't have to memorize it, just the characteristics of what you have to learn. You have traveled by it, so you should. Rail network, India has the largest rail network in the world. Remember, when the question comes on rail, please write the word IRCTC. It is a website also. You go Indian Railway, you book your tickets there. When you write it, the examiner thinks, okay, you have studied, you know it. Remember IRCTC. It is longer for distances. It is also for passengers and for goods. And also it is cheaper than road transport. Also, Indian government, to encourage tourism, have introduced many railway promotions. So there's a toy train, for example, in Darjeeling, in Matharan. There's Palace on Wheels in Jaipur. There is these special heritage trains. Vande Bharat have come, the bullet train we're talking about. And locally, in the city, we've got metros and trams in Kolkata. This is about train. Air transport, well, it is quicker, but more expensive. And India has designated airports. Now the connectivity is increasing, international and domestic. Again, there are some many domestic flying, Indigo, Go Air, new one has come, Akasha. So suddenly options are becoming better and better. And India's connectivity is now one of the largest in the world with regards to air transport. And finally, water transport, which is three type of water transport are there. Remember, this is very important. Coastal shipping. So coast to coast, India has Bay of Bengal, India has Arabian Sea on this side, India has Indian Ocean below. So coastal is important. Inland waterways, inside, there are a lot of lakes, there are a lot of big rivers. So you have inland waterways, and you also have sea transport. Sea transport for the larger containers, goods carrying, things back and forth for import and export. This is slow transport, but the largest of all. More goods can be carried. There are cruise ships from Goa to Lakshadweep to Andaman. You can use that. And you need a lot of ports, as ports are developed like Vishakhapatnam, Chennai, Mumbai. So these ports become the places where people come in. Look at all the 12 major ports of India. So India has 12 major ports. Kandla, Porbandar, Mumbai, there is Bangalore, there is Kochi, there is Chennai, Vishakhapatnam, so many of them. And that is all you need to learn in this chapter. I hope you do well in your tourism. Good luck and good.